Hey folks, a rational consumer here with my video game review of Deus Ex Human Revolution. So, bottom line up front, I would recommend you play this. I think it is worth your time, though I'll have some caveats further down in my review. I give it a 7 out of 10, which is kind of right on that borderline of me thinking that it was worth my time and that it would be worth your time. But it did some pretty cool stuff, and I think at the time it came out, it was really phenomenal. I played this on Steam on my PC. It was available on GeForce Now, though, which was nice, so I could play it on my laptop inside or kind of on the go. And yeah, so overall, give it a 7 out of 10. I'll hop into the component scores. It gets a 2 out of 3 for quality because the inventory management was really bad. Some of the menus were kind of janky, and the enemy AI wasn't anything to write home about. But otherwise, for however old this game is, I think it's like 7-ish years old. It's definitely not new. It ran great. So in general, it was a lot more polished and a lot easier to navigate through than I had expected. I tried to play the first two Deus Ex titles, just Deus Ex and then Deus Ex Invisible War, and those were just so outdated that I couldn't get into them. Human Revolution, though, felt sort of like a current gen game, just with a little bit of jankiness. So that's why it gets a 2 out of 3 for quality. It gets a 2 out of 3 for the experience as well. It loses a point because, for one thing, the gun combat or the gunplay didn't feel very good. It felt sort of difficult to aim. Granted, I played with a controller, so maybe I should have used mouse and keyboard more. But the gun combat didn't feel very good. And there were times that the story dragged a little bit, or that the pacing felt a little bit too slow for me. But on the positive side, the stealth action was really fun. Sort of trying multiple different routes through. I didn't go the pacifist route. You can play the entire game without killing anyone. And there's an achievement for that and all. And I didn't go that far. But in general, I tried to just avoid combat entirely where I could. And the stealth action was both challenging. I would often fail and have to try again, but it was a lot of fun and really rewarding once you figured it out. And the hacking mini game, similarly, it was like the best implementation of lockpicking or hacking I had seen. It was simple enough to not take a lot of mental thought, but interesting enough to also sort of not feel like a drag every time you encountered it. But the game did get a little bit easy when I could just turn on my invisibility cloak and run through everything. For the final score, return on investment, it gets a 2 out of 3 here. It's tough because it is an old game. So I imagine that Cyberpunk 2077 could be a much better use of your time, or there's newer either cyberpunk, future dystopian games, or even stealth genre games that could be a better use of your time. But if you're really itching for something in the genre, the story in this game and also the stealth action, I think, will make it worth your time. Check out the footage, certainly. And if it looks like something you would be interested in, then I think it will be worth your time. But if it doesn't look up your bag, I think you shouldn't feel bad about skipping this one. So again, 7 out of 10 overall. I think it was worth my time, and I would recommend you play it if it looks interesting to you. That's my review. I will see you in the next video.